Welcome to POSTCAST. David Locke along with Ron Boone. We're going to triple dip here. We're going to do our POSTCAST. Gordon Hayward's going to join us at some point. We'll go back and join in the radio, so you'll hear all of it happening here. That's the only way we can get all this done and get the bus. They don't wait for broadcasters. Really, really nice win for the Jazz tonight in Denver after a slow start.
It was a great win, and the reason for that is that they were able to grind it out. And after that first quarter, things just started to click. It just seems like the Denver Nuggets started to struggle, and the Jazz took advantage of that. I mean, they were down 13, and then after the first quarter, they were only down 5 points. So that made a big difference.
All right, the theme of our broadcast coming in and our TV thing was the lack of assists, and then we dug deeper. We said it's not only assists, it's assist opportunities. In other words, we're not catching and shooting, and tonight the Jazz had 23 assists, and we saw a huge amount of more catch and shoot. Gordon Hayward's going to join us here in a second. Give me the station in my ear if you don't mind so I can cue everybody involved, and I'll hear Gordon here in a second. Gordon, are you with us? All right, Gordon's putting on the headset, and G is with us. Yep. Is G with us? I don't hear the drop, by the way. Is Gordon talking to me? I do not hear Gordon. Is Gordon, are you there?
Yo, what's up?
Okay. Thank you very much, Spence. We're joined now live down from below with Gordon Hayward here at the Pepsi Center. And G, we opened our broadcast tonight talking about lack of assists, but more than lack of assists, you guys were last in the league in catch and shoot chances. You weren't even getting chances for assists. What was different tonight? Because it was so obvious that there were plethora of opportunities on catch and shoot that haven't been there in the past.
Well, I think it was just an effort from the beginning of making the extra pass, seeing the guy on the backside. We broke it down in film. We watched it. We were just missing guys on the backside, and then maybe, not being confident stepping in and shooting it when we got our chances. So right from the get-go, we got a bunch of good looks, and we didn't knock them down, honestly. I mean, we were missing a bunch of easy shot opportunities there in the first quarter, and continued to still make the right play, and we were rewarded down the stretch.
Gordon, the defense was obviously very, very good after coming back from 13 points down in that first quarter. Without Derek Favors, now you guys have to put in a little smaller lineup. Your roles change.
Yeah, no, they do. And I thought the guys coming in off the bench did a tremendous job of sparking us. I can go down the line with everybody coming in, and it's one of those things, especially in the second half there, we switched the starting lineup, and that's a mental challenge for everybody. Not only the guys coming in and starting, but the guys that are going to go to the bench and come in later. So, I mean, it was a great effort, especially there in the second half. And, we missed Fave, obviously, but proud of the guys for stepping up.
What about you, Gordon? Struggling with your shot there a little bit. You're starting to feel more comfortable now and to the point where you can get on track here.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely frustrating when you're not hitting shots that you feel like you should be hitting, and I've seen them go in countless times in the gym, and I'm still not there yet. There's a bunch of plays in the game where I'm short on shots. I think maybe off balance. I got to get my legs in me, but I think it's a rhythm thing, a timing thing, and I think as we move forward, it'll be better. But just continue to play hard and compete is the most important thing. That's something I always do, and usually, it'll happen for me.
You just need November 5th to hit the calendar.
Yeah, there we go. That's right.
It's a good day for you. Nice little memory from a year ago, right?
That's right. That was a hell of a game for us. Crowd and everything. It was a great day.
Well, good win tonight, and we'll get the crowd going on Saturday. Thank you very much for the time, Gordon.
Thanks, guys.
That's Gordon Hayward here from the Pepsi Center. Back to Spence and Britton. And for those of you on POSTCAST, we will keep it here. So what do you see differently out of Gordon tonight?
Well, first of all, the confidence level now is I think is starting to come. Guys that know they can shoot the basketball, guys that have confidence in their shot, they're not going to stop shooting. They might get a little frustrated. As you mentioned the other day, stayed, an hour or so shooting free throws because he was starting to struggle there. It becomes a little mental thing. But guys that know that they can shoot the basketball, you heard him say, he's watched them go in and practice. Now you have to transfer that to the basketball court, just like you do in golf. You go practice, you hit great shots, but sometimes you have problems transferring that type of effort to the game situations.
It's really interesting what he said, that they went through film today looking at where they were missing their catch and shoot opportunities. We said in the broadcast, it's clear this is a focus because the amount of catch and shoot opportunities were so much larger than what we had seen in the previous games. That's why we were talking about the broadcast. And so to hear they were at film, guys were there. They were missing the backside. It's just the evolution of this offense.
I think it's fascinating, David, that something that we prepared for this afternoon turned out to be a big deal for them tonight, something that they had been talking about there as well. And it just started to early in the ball game. I mean, I don't know if we were paying a little more attention to it, but the situation, there were a lot of situations where they could have even done a little bit more of catching and shooting the basketball in tonight's game. But it was a lot more attempts from more guys that we saw tonight.
23 assists for the Jazz. By the way, when you're watching this live, you're welcome to ask a question to Ron and I. If you'd like to, the Q&A feature is on. Trevor Booker's really the hero of this game in a lot of ways. Derek Favors does not play the second half with the flu. Trevor, who came in just scuffling, I think he was 3 of 18 shooting, and he got it going, bypassed a 3 early on a catch-and-shoot opportunity, hit one later, but his offense, as you said so well, Ron, he matched Kenneth Faried's offense, and that changed the game.
And you saw,
energy.
Yeah, 9 rebounds. He had 4 of those coming on the offensive glass, and incidentally, Jazz ended up with 12 offensive rebounds, 11 for the Denver Nuggets. The Jazz average about 12, and the Nuggets are about 13. So they did match their effort as far as the offensive boards are concerned. But that had a lot to do with Trevor Booker. I mean, his energy level is always there. I mean, his shooting might be off sometimes. He might get in a little foul trouble, but that effort and the way he plays, as hard as he plays, I mean, that's always there.
Well, Ron, here's the interesting one to me tonight. The Jazz went back to the triple wing. This is something we talked about a lot. It disappeared when the season opened. They went back to it a good deal tonight. They only played 31 minutes of point guard play. So if they only played 31 minutes of Trey Burke and Raul Neto, that means that there was 17 minutes of triple wing action tonight. And I think if we go back and look at it, I'm going to guess the plus minus on that triple wing was pretty darn good tonight.
It had to be, right? Because the Jazz came back and won the basketball game, and that was something they went to and ended up surviving. You said Neto didn't play that much, only played 12 minutes. Trey ended up with 19 minutes, 4 for 12, and ended up with 12 points. Hit a couple of threes, big threes, I thought, when the Jazz were making that run to extend the lead for the most part. So nice ball game here for the Jazz tonight.
Rudy Gobert, we just 8 points, 16 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 blocks. I mean, he's just doing that every night. Let's go to some of the questions. Matt Griffith is coming in with a question. What was the biggest difference in the fourth quarter, Ron?
Well, the biggest difference was they had the lead and they were playing downhill. I mean, and now the Denver Nuggets were struggling to catch up and win the basketball game. Denver wants to run. Their strength of this basketball team is in transition. The Jazz did not let them get into that, and Mike Malone said that before the ball game, is that they want to run, they want to get up and down the floor, and they were very concerned with the Jazz ability to play in half court and with Rudy protecting the rim.
The other one I would say is I don't think Danilo Gallinari checked in until about the 7-minute mark, maybe the 6:30 mark of the fourth quarter, and the game was almost over by then. And when you keep Denver into the half court with Gallinari out of the game, Denver has they don't have a single guy on that roster that can beat you down or break you, or Danilo Gallinari is a top 20% isolation player in the NBA. I mean, he's an elite one-on-one player. They don't have another guy like that. So when he's out of the game, and the Jazz kept them in the half court by scoring offensively, really, they didn't have an offense. Their offense looked terrible during that stretch.
And you and I were surprised at that. And I think you made reference to that, because if he's the star of this team and he's their go-to guy, you got to have him on the floor. You see, as you mentioned, he only played 6:46 there in the second half. In the fourth quarter, rather, only 2 fouls, so he wasn't in foul trouble or anything.
He played 36 minutes.
And played 36 minutes.
So they may just not have. I mean, we may have just seen the Achilles heel of the Denver Nuggets, which is that when Gallinari's off the floor, they just don't have that next guy. All right, let's go to Andy Hermedia. How much more impressive was this comeback without Favors and motored by our bench?
Well, I think it was impressive from the standpoint that they had to go small and they got something out of it with Trevor Booker, and then with Trey and Gordon and Rodney Hood. That's the lineup that they have a lot of confidence in now, I think, and you'll probably see a lot more of that. But it's so early in the season, and you like to see the effort that they're putting in, and for the most part, getting the job done.
Rodney Hood, 5 points, 4 assists in that fourth quarter. Bunch of defensive breakdowns where he found Trevor Booker Booker ended up with 6 points in that fourth, and Trey Burke had 7. So nice balancing act. And as our guest Gordon Hayward shared with us, he had it back going a little bit with 20 tonight. Jazz with a solid win. They outscored the Nuggets 31-20 in the fourth. Come back from an early deficit, play the game the right way. I love the comment Gordon made in our interview also about the fact we were doing what was right early. It just wasn't giving us dividends. We stayed with it and got them on the backside. It's a good sign. We'll be home Saturday against the Memphis Grizzlies. If you missed this one tonight, Jazz Game Rewind will be available for you at Locked On Jazz as well, and Empty the Noggin is in the written form. Jazz win tonight over the Denver Nuggets. Thanks very much for tuning in. This is POSTCAST, your radio broadcast's post-game show on the internet.